Welcome back to module number 2, lesson 2. In today's lesson, I'm going to show you an overview of your Amazon Sellers app, including 2 key components that a lot of people forget to set up. So here we are on our Amazon Sellers app. You can find this in whatever app store that you have, depending on which device that you have. This is going to be your basic screen that you see. Product sales is probably the main part on this right side on the gear. You can go through and adjust this via the last 7 days, 30 days, week, and month. You can also go by units sold if you prefer to see that over actual sales numbers. So obviously this graph right here is going to show what your daily sales, and mine is set to the last 30 days, are going to look like. The very top of the bar is going to show you how many sales that you have today, how many units you have sold, what your current payout balance is for your next payday, as well as when your next payment is coming up, as well as your customer feedback. So now I'm going to show you a basic overview of a few things that you can mess with. Number one in the top right is your camera. There's a couple different ways to scan a product. You can use the camera in the top right from this screen, or you can click on Add a Product. Again, you have the camera button, or you can title search right here. So let's use a product as an example. If I hit that camera button, it's going to bring up my screen right here. As you can see, recording. So from here, you can see those little blue dots. Those are actually going to scan via image search. So it literally just scanned my keyboard. This is going to be a real life example. So my Matthias keyboard just came up. That's how good some of this can be. And another way you can do that too is using my actual example, this Buzz Lightyear. You can just scan that via the face of it. You can see the buy box price, all that good stuff here. And then of course, we're going to be looking at the primary method that you're going to use is scanning a barcode. So if we scan the barcode right here, and that brings up the listing itself. So here, let's take a quick look at the listing. So you're going to have all your basic information that you need to know, and this is going to be covered much more in depth once we get to the sourcing and products module. But this is just going to be a seller's app tutorial here for you today. So you can see what you are looking at here is primarily going to be the numbers. You're looking at what the average people are selling it for, your fees, and how much shipping is going to be. Now, there were 2 key parts about your seller's app that need to be set up properly that I mentioned earlier. Number 1, you can see right here where it says fees with FBA. If you do not set that up, sometimes your app is going to default to not FBA. It's going to be seller fulfilled. So here's the issue with that. FBA fees are much higher than seller fulfilled fees, or FBM. So oftentimes when you are new, you might make the mistake of scanning a product thinking you have potential profit, but when you actually send it into FBA, your fees are going to be much higher than you anticipated. So here's how we set this up to show the fees with FBA. On the top left, we're going to tap on those 3 bars. We are going to go to your gearbox for your setting. From here, we're going to go to product search. And while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and show you both of those key settings that need to be set up. First one is seller fulfilled is going to show FBM, or fulfilled by merchant settings. Amazon fulfilled is how you're going to see FBA fees. So make sure if you are focusing on FBA, you're going to have Amazon fulfilled as your default fulfillment channel. That is how it's going to show those fees. Default low price, I just use the FBA low price. Shipping to customer, you do not need to worry about this section unless you are doing merchant filled shipping. I do some merchant filled shipping myself, and I know that my buy cost for my shipping on that is about $5, so I have mine set up there. But if you're doing FBA, you do not need to worry about this part. Now, the second key setting is going to be shipping to Amazon. Many times in different videos that I've done when I'm showing Walmart retail arbitrage videos or anything like that, people are always asking, how do I know how much my shipping is going to be to Amazon? And it's because I have it set up in my app right here. And everyone always asks the same question while we're on the top. How are you able to ship things so cheap to Amazon? And it simply comes down to the fact that Amazon is partnered with UPS and FedEx, and they get ridiculously low pricing on their ship. The bigger your shipment is, typically the heavier that the total weight is for your shipment, whether it's FedEx or UPS, the better the discount you're going to get. So we are looking at this cost by weight, and to be on the safe side, I put that 60 cents per pound. Oftentimes, you are not going to even see 60 cents per pound. You're realistically going to be paying about 30 to 40, sometimes in that 50 cent per pound range. Again, the heavier your shipments are, the less you're going to pay in these. I've seen shipments get all the way down to 10 cents per pound before. So 60 cents per pound is going to be automatically calculated into your scan, and I'm going to go back to that other page and show you how. And that's it. Those are your two key settings that you really need to focus on, especially when you first make your Amazon sellers account and you download this app. Your default settings are not going to be set up like this. So you want 60 cents per pound. If you want to be on the extremely safe side, you can go 75 cents if you'd like. In the customer, again, you do not need to worry about that. And then the other one is going to be your default fulfillment channel. This is what is going to be displaying your fees as. We want Amazon fulfilled. If I go back to this listing, let's show you exactly why we set it up that way. And I can now see that this is my fees with FBA. If this was fees with FBM, it would be much lower, therefore you're not going to get the accurate numbers. Here's why we set up our shipping setting, because you don't need to sit here and try to guess how much it's going to cost to ship this item. Amazon's going to do the math for you and tell you. But here's a common mistake that people make. A lot of people would look at, okay, cool, if I sell this for $49.95, after my fees, I'm left with $36.06 as my gross proceeds. Now, of course, this is not including your buy cost or the shipping, and that's the part that people miss. This right here, this page, a lot of people would look at $36, and let's say you can buy this for $15. A lot of people would think, great, I'm going to double my money. This is going to be easy money. But you have to remember there is a shipping cost involved, and how do you see that shipping cost? You simply click where it says gross proceeds. This brings you to the next page, which now you can see shipping to Amazon. Estimated 60 cents per pound is going to cost $1.32. Now, if this is within a large shipment, I'm not going to pay that full $1.32. Remember that 60 cents per pound is a cushion. This realistically might cost me closer to 70 or 80 cents to ship. And we're able to get the shipping costs so low because we're not shipping this one individual item to Amazon. It's going within a larger plan. And that's how we're able to get those big discounts. So right here, this would give me a more accurate breakdown on this page. So if I did buy this for $15, I would be able to see a $19.74 profit if I sold it at $49.95. One step further, you can actually look at the breakdown of your fees. Because we are tapping into Amazon's customer base, there is a referral fee for referring that customer to our product. And then, of course, a pick and pack fee because Amazon employees are having to pick and pack this order for us. So if we go back, quick recap, always make sure that you tap on gross proceeds because that is going to show you what your actual profit can be and your actual shipping cost. All right, so back to this main page, I'm going to cover a few more key parts here. One of the most important aspects of your app, and probably the one you're going to use the most, is under Manage Orders. So under that Manage Orders tab, you're going to come in here. This is going to show you what is currently pending, and pending means that it has not actually shipped yet. Once an item has shipped, then your dollar amount that sold for and your gross proceeds will then be put into your next deposit. So if we're looking at this Nike item, for example, shows you it was ordered Friday, March 8th. It is pending. That means it hasn't been shipped out yet. It's the ships. I'm going to see my gross proceeds get deposited into whatever my next payment's going to be. But this page right here is going to be probably the number one that you use in your app so you can see what is selling. You can also come in here to filter, and you can go through and filter down if you want to see what has shipped out, if there were any canceled orders. You can see unshipped, your pending. You can even filter down to last 60 days, just this week. Do any seller fulfillment, merchant filled. You can also select seller, and that will show you what your seller orders are looking like. Now, I'm not going to sit here and cherry pick every single one of these tabs because especially when you're new, you're not going to use them all. I'm just going to show you which ones you need to know about. Next up would be communications. This right here is if you receive any customer communications. And let me clarify one thing. Amazon is very strict on your reply times. You have 24 hours to reply back to a message until it shows as a negative in your metrics. So anytime you get a customer message, you either need to hit do not reply on the message or you need to reply back to the customer. Now, one quick tip is if you do get a message about an item that was sold via FBA, you do not need to reply back to that message. We are paying Amazon FBA fees for a reason. They handle all customer service. So one thing that I do is I don't just ignore the message. If they're asking about a tracking on an item, if they're saying they want to return something, cancel an order, etc., I do a basic reply back saying thanks for reaching out. Unfortunately, we cannot help you with this because it was shipped out via Amazon. Here's a link to their customer service. And that's all you need to worry about. But right under here in Communications tab is where you can keep track of those. Going down the list here, Campaign Manager, you don't need to worry about unless you're actually running PPC campaigns, pay-per-click, going to be coming up in another lesson. Account Health will also dive in and cover another lesson as well. 2B is business to business. Inventory alerts, pricing opportunities, growth, manage inventory, manage FBA shipments. I will actually check out this manage FBA shipments for you. This one is nice to have because if you have products that are being shipped in, you can see when they are actually being processed, like you can see right here. This shows all your shipments that have been shipped in. So you can see we've done a few smaller shipments and then we had some wholesale stuff, that 722 and that 207. Those were wholesale shipments that we sent in. Now you're going to see a couple different titles. One is processing, and you don't need to trust any of the numbers that you see until it says completed. Then you can go in and try to recover counts that may have been wrong. So for example, right here, looking at that 207 units received, if you see under contents, 4 SKUs, it was 210 units that I sent in. So I need to go through, open up a case and have someone go and check that out. And obviously because these are wholesale products, I can't go in there and show you the exact ones, but you can actually click on this tab and it will show you the exact contents that may be missing. All right, and if we go back up here, top left in our settings again, it's pretty much gonna be the same drop downs that you see on this main page. But one that I do wanna show you that is something I use every day is gonna be inventory. So from here, a couple things I'm looking for. I'm always looking for available because there's a lot of times that you're going to see product that is checked in, but it's not available because it might be under what's called reserved, which means it's being transferred to another warehouse. But this is really handy to have because if you're out and about and you don't want to be at your computer, you don't have your computer with you to focus on your Seller Central side. If you ever want to do quick repricing, you can do that yourself here too. So for example, if I go to this Nike bag, this is going to be your main page that shows your price, fee preview, the lowest price that is currently offered. The buy box price is going to be shown there. It shows if you're eligible to be rotated into buy box, which is nice to have. Also shows your competitive offers. And if you click on that tab, it takes you to the actual listing as well. So if I want to come in here and reprice my stuff, if I see that the buy box is at $31.36 and I want to match that, I can just hit update and I can update my price right there. So this is just a really nice tab to have if you want to do stuff on the road. You can also contact seller support right here through your app. You can hop on email or chat with them there. And this is more of an advanced topic, but if you get into uploading your own photos, you can actually use that product photo studio and it will make a pure white background for your photos. And then also just a super quick note on the very top where it says Amazon.com, I can actually click on that. And if you sell on another platform, so Amazon Canada, for example, is what you see here. If you sell in Europe or Australia, your drop downs will show right there. So you can toggle between your storefronts. And your final tip is if you want to see a breakdown per day of your sales, you can actually click on one of these bars. And that will show you an exact breakdown of what was sold that day. That has been lesson number 2 in module number 2. I hope this helped clarify how to properly set up your Amazon Sellers app and the basics. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you.